You always talk about how fragile life is. And every day you wake up, you're blessed, you're lucky. But it is fragile. It kind of makes you reassess and think how much you should appreciate the opportunities you have, because none of us do. You always look at it that you want to play for somebody, and whoever it is, son, daughter, father, wife, or husband, it'd do you good to tell them you love them and you appreciate them. And it would do you a lot of good that any people closest to you that you say that. You say it, and you say it, and you say it. Because one morning you wake up and everything's one way, and by 9 o'clock that night, everything's another way. Sometimes you gotta make and learn and grow from positive things and negative things.
If I could go back in time, I'd go back to 2008 and I'd talk with my dad about life. My relationship with my dad was really close. When I was younger, he was like one of my best friends because I spent most of the time with him. A lot of workouts, a lot of listening to music, actually. He really got me into music. My favorite memory with my dad was after every workout, we used to drive past the 7-Eleven and we used to get the same chips and a Slurpee every time after we did a workout, which probably wasn't good for us, but it was probably my favorite thing that I remember. I kind of moved around a lot, but my family lives in Chicago. That's where I'd say I'm from at the moment, but I was born in Washington. Did a lot of basketball stuff for the most part, just because it was a part of our lives.
My husband, Lorenzo, Malik's dad, was a college assistant basketball coach for about 15 years. And when he left college basketball, he opened his own business called First Step Basketball. And that's what he did full time, 7 days a week, was train kids. And Malik and his sister were always in the gym with him.
I would say that stuck with me the most is the hard work that we put in. We were always like every day, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We were always in the gym, always watching basketball. Just the hard work that and the passion that he had for the game is something that's definitely stuck with me.
Malik was always the tag along. And so spending time together and just having that male bonding with your dad, that was an everyday deal until my husband got sick.
I didn't really realize something was off until my mom said something about it. I saw a side of my dad that I'd never seen before, like anger. And that's when I mostly started to realize something wasn't right. But before that, I was kind of just oblivious to it.
Malik was about 9 years old when the symptoms appeared for my husband, and they began fairly quickly. And so it hit us like a rock. Somebody who was very healthy, very active, in the gym all the time, running his own corporation, was all of a sudden thinking differently. It took me about a week to figure out that something was seriously wrong. It really just blindsided us.
Look, I love that picture though with Emily with the calendar.
Yeah. Lorenzo was diagnosed with early onset of dementia. And his life has never been the same. He can't remember what year we got married, or when he graduated from college, or when he worked, or where he worked. So he definitely has the memory issues. He calls me all the time to ask me what channel college basketball is on. We talk on a daily basis to tell me what channel it is and who's playing. He has not driven a car since 2010. And unfortunately, he hasn't lived in our home since 2010 either.
He'll remember like big main details, like where he went to school and like what he did and his mother. He remembers me like completely, like he knows I'm his son, he knows I'm his baby boy.
So he got mad, but he got better by playing against him. He always better than all the players I had on workouts, so he did good.
Probably my mom does a really great job of, just filling him in on little stuff.
I think they fly to Southern Illinois tonight.
It's kind of like taking care of like if she were to take care of her mother and like stuff like that, which kind of sucks because like that's your husband and you have to do things that somebody should be helping you with, and you're doing it all by yourself.
He lives about 20 minutes from our home in a supportive living community where there is staff to help him navigate the day-to-day. The good thing is we get to see him on a regular basis. He's been to a number of games. As caregivers, we learn it's not the person, it's the disease. And so very early, I had to teach my kids, it's not your dad, it's the disease, so that they understood when he said something that could be embarrassing, that it wasn't him, that it was the disease, and it was completely out of their control. I probably immersed Malik in basketball even more to make sure that he was busy. He wouldn't see his dad and he wouldn't talk to his dad, and his dad couldn't have coherent conversations with him. He's just not capable of parenting in the way that a parent interacts with a child on a daily basis. He can't give advice, but I'll tell you, he can give love, and both of our kids know that my husband loves them. He loves to talk to Malik. How you doing, Malik? How's school? How's basketball? He's so proud of Malik.
Growing up as a young man with no man in the household, there's like certain things that you have to figure out yourself. Trying to find out where I fit in as you're growing up. I honestly think my mom did a really great job of like helping me through that process and like showing me how a man should act.
That even through failure, we have persisted. There's so much to be lost when a family member has a disabling illness. I had to change my career. We lost our homes. I had to close Lorenzo's business. None of that has anything to do with love. That's just our worldly belongings and paths. My end goal was, how do I love my husband in sickness and in health and make my kids my number one priority? Malik has been resilient through a lot of change that was out of his control. When you lose a parent in this manner, there's a lot of unsaid feelings when it comes to a young boy. There's a lot of times where you don't know what he's thinking and feeling, and yet he has just persisted and really dug down into, I think, his faith in God. I think surrounding himself with godly men. I think the world of the staff at Sunrise in helping Malik navigate high school. He had a lot of strong male, positive figures that helped him through. And I really think that was a part of God's plan, that because they knew Lorenzo couldn't do it. And by showing us love and reverence, they poured teaching and mentoring into Malik.
Hall open again, and again he knocks down a jumper. Hall a jump shot, and another one goes down. 15 points off the bench, all coming in the second half.
There's so much that I still have to learn. And I can't learn because he's not around, and they just don't have that man. My mom, she made a great deal of sacrifices, and I say, like, for the most part, she's really showed me like what love is all about. Just to stick with someone for 10 years of them being sick, and it just shows me unconditional love. My why would be like just love, and I got that from my parents, and it like shows through me through my relationships, and I want to show through how I play and how I go about my schoolwork and everything that I do. Just something we dreamed of together when I was younger, you know, playing on TV and playing for a big, nice college. It's definitely something I use because, you know, college is no joke. You definitely get tired, and like that kind of just spurs the thought process for me of like memories that I have with my dad or like with my friends. Like, you know, you've been working to get to this moment, so why just stop now?
I call basketball Lorenzo's love language because it is truly one of the things that has stuck with him through all his changes.
You know?
Did you get Slurpees?
Yeah, Slurpees from 7-Eleven.
Through everything that's happened, he still retains his like basketball memories. So like he retained all his IQ of the game and everything, and like I can still talk to him about like pick and rolls and all different types of things, and like it'll just click, and it's like the old him is still there talking to me. I say the experience has taught me just the value of everyone that you know, the passion and commitment it takes in everything that you do. It's just something because of him that I know if he was here, he still would have helped me grow in that aspect. I think he, for the most part, he would just say he's proud. There was definitely a lot of stuff that went into me getting here, and he's definitely one of those main factors, you know. The best coach I ever had, best trainer I ever had, you know. I think he'd say he's proud and, you know, just give me a hug.